strobes or constant lights, flash or LED. If you're in the market for lighting because you want to shoot more professional headshots, you might be wondering which way to go. Well, you clicked on the right video. Welcome back to Adorama TV. My name is Gary Hughes, and if you're trying to choose between strobes and constant lights for headshots, you may already be thinking about it the wrong way, because it's not a binary decision, it's more of a matrix. Modern strobes can have some LED capability. Some LED lights can deliver short, high output pulses that behave like a flash. The lines between the systems are blurrier than they've ever been, but I also know a ton of incredible headshot photographers creating industry-leading work with all kinds of different lights in all kinds of situations. So instead of asking which one is better, I want to help you understand the real question: which of the tools available right now make the most sense for the way you actually work? If you're looking for help with what lights you need to get started, this video is for you. If you already have very strong opinions and you came here to say your piece, I guess I'll see you in the comments. Seriously though, for those of you watching who have great experience with headshot lighting, help me out. Jump in the comments, support the people who are newer and searching for help, because rising tides, right? Let's help each other out. If you're new to this concept, first let's define the difference between strobes and constant lights. A strobe light emits short, intense bursts of lights, like a flash. They're great for freezing motion and overpowering ambient light. A constant light provides steady, uninterrupted illumination. What you see is what you get. So essentially, strobes are on and off pulses, one shot at a time. Constant lights are always on. They're constant. So instead of arguing about strobes versus constant lights, let's break it into the categories that actually matter for working headshot photographers. We'll tackle the big one first: power. A lot of people will say that strobes are more powerful than LED constant lights. And in a way, they're right, but it's not that simple. Let me give you a real-world example. For about the same price, you might look at a constant light like the Nanlite FS300C and a strobe like the Flashpoint Evolve 200 Pro 2. There isn't a direct way to compare their power output because they measure output differently. The LED is rated in lux, and that describes how much continuous light is hitting your subject at a given distance. The strobe is rated in watt seconds, and that describes how much energy gets dumped in a very short burst of light. So while the LED is using its energy constantly, the strobe gets to store that energy and release it all at once at the moment of capture. This generally means a strobe can deliver much higher peak power more efficiently at the exact moment the image is captured. For headshot photographers, that usually means strobes can give you more peak power for your money, more ability to overpower ambient light, and more flexibility when working on location. And speaking of location, do you make headshots in bright rooms, offices with big windows? Do you need to overpower daylight when working outdoors? Because of their extra power, strobes make that job much easier and more consistent. Modern battery-powered strobes also make shooting on location lighter and cleaner without power cords running everywhere. But what if you mostly work in a predictable, controlled environment like a home studio or a dedicated space? Constant lights can produce incredible results here. They just struggle more when it comes to fending off strong ambient light sources. It's not impossible to use constant lights on location. It can just be more difficult to overpower ambient light when working on site somewhere. Which brings us to the next category: portability, and how much infrastructure you want to manage. A lot of strobes run on AC power, and a lot of constant lights can run from batteries, but when you factor in cost and output, strobes often allow for a lighter kit and a smaller footprint. Batteries tend to be smaller and cheaper and last longer with strobes, especially for all-day shooting. Even constant lights with thin, lightweight heads often rely on bulky cords and heavy ballasts, and very good batteries can burn down quickly when you're running powerful LEDs at a high output. Does it sound a little bit like I'm picking on constant lights? Well, I am, but just to create some dramatic tension before we talk about the ways in which constant lights really shine. That's pun intended. Like ease of use and workflow. What you see is what you get with constant lights. You move the light, you see the change immediately. No triggers, no sync settings, no test shots just to see light placement. If you can shoot a good headshot with window light, you can adapt very quickly to LED lighting. It's a natural transition from available light to controlled additive light. When that simplicity lowers the cognitive load for new photographers, and it can also make your subjects feel more comfortable and less intimidating for them because they're not used to being photographed and lights flashing in their face the whole time. Strobes require more intention. You're often working from experience and test shots, and that doesn't make them necessarily harder, just different. And finally, let's talk about creativity. Some modern LED lights like the Godox No LED full color constant lights offer incredible creative options with minimal fuss. And importantly, they do it without adding complexity to your setup. Where you'd need gels, multiple modifiers, and extra lights with strobes, some of those LED systems give you full color and a range of effects with the turn of a knob or a simple app. You can take your headshots and your portraits to a whole nother level with what's already built in and a little bit of creativity. So let's break this down. If you work mostly on location in changing lighting conditions and you want maximum versatility for the lowest cost, portable battery-powered strobes like the Evolve 200 Pro 2 might be the best option for you. If you're shooting studio-style headshots from home or a dedicated space with constant control and reliable power, those constant lights might be a perfect fit. You may also love that no-fuss experience of the real-time visual feedback you get with constant lights. As a side note, if you're shooting both photo and video in the same session, constant lights can really simplify your workflow in a big way. And before we wrap up, just a quick word about light modifiers. You're going to see a lot of photographers using LED tubes or panels, and these can be fantastic, but they do limit your modifier options. So if you want to use standard photography modifiers like umbrellas, softboxes, or beauty dishes, you'll want LED lights that accept traditional mounts like the Godox UL152 or the Nanlite FS300C. Look, if you continue on with photography, you're going to own a lot of lights. This first decision is not a forever decision. I've owned dozens of lights, just about every kind you could think of. My studio is packed with strobes and constant lights right now. I use whatever tool fits the job best. That mindset alone will save you a lot of stress and a lot of money. When you're starting out, ask yourself, what do I shoot and what do I want to shoot? Buy what's practical right now, and you can always scale later. If you've got questions, hit me up in the comments. I'll be there for you. Check the description for links to some of my recommended headshot gear. Like and subscribe to Adorama so we can keep making helpful videos for you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.